I'll be starting here in any second. On behalf of Sheriff Carmine Marcino and the men and women of the Lee County Sheriff's Office, I want to thank everybody here joining us today at the Lee County School District building where the school board meets. Also, everybody watching us on the school district's YouTube channel, welcome. We're glad you could all join us today. I'm Tony Shaw. I'm the director of the Do the Right Thing program, and we're glad you have joined us. We got a lot of very good stories with some exceptional students to tell you about today. But before we get started, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and today that's going to be led by Cameron Road.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Cameron. I want to begin today's ceremony by acknowledging the school board of Lee County, Chairperson Debbie Jordan, representing District 4, Vice Chairperson Betsy Vaughn, representing District 6, Mary Fisher, representing District 1, Melissa Giovanelli, representing District 2, Chris Patrica, representing District 3, Gwinnetta Gittens with District 5, and Kathleen Morgan, representing District 7. Also, Dr. Ken Savage, the superintendent of schools. We appreciate all you do for our Do the Right Thing program, and you make it possible. Let's have a round of applause for the school board and Dr. Savage. And representing Sheriff Marcino and assisting us today with our certificates and our trophies is Lieutenant Angel Capo. He's with our Youth Services Division, and he has a few words to share on behalf of Sheriff Marcino.
Like Tony said, on behalf of the sheriff, I want to thank you all for coming. It's not always easy to do the right thing, so I commend all these young people for doing the right thing. Parents, you're obviously doing something right at home because it starts at home. But I thank you for that. Thank you, Tony, for all the hard work you put into this program. And enjoy the show, guys.
Thank you, Lieutenant Capo. I would also like to thank our volunteers today with our civilian support unit. A lot of them have the white shirts on. Mary has a black shirt on. They have been doing everything to make today's program possible, assisting with everything, and they're the ones that make things happen behind the scenes. And again, we want to thank the civilian support unit with a round of applause. Also, Lieutenant Donnie Fuel, Beth Shell, and Tiffany Wood with the Lee County Sheriff's Office, as well as Dave Alexander and Devin Turk with the Lee County School District. They are running the cameras, the lights, the sound today. They're also showing today's ceremony on the school district's YouTube channel. So if you are here today in person, you can actually go home and watch today's ceremony at any time on the school district's YouTube channel simply by subscribing. So that address is youtube.com/Lee Schools TV, so we hope you will be a part of that broadcast as well. And with us today is board member, Vice Chair Betsy Vaughn. She represents District 6. We're delighted she could join us today, and she has a few words to share with everyone. Let's have a round of applause for Betsy Vaughn.
Well, actually, I'm going to make one tiny correction. We kind of rolled over the different roles, so it's Miss Mary Fisher now that's the vice chair. I just didn't want to let that go. But yeah, I was until November, and we do our switches then. All right. This is such a great program. I love this program because, as was just said, especially for our children, well, for us too as adults, right? Doing the right thing. It's sometimes really, really hard. And I commend all of you young ladies and gentlemen up here for having earned this honor. And I can't wait to hear your stories. Parents, guardians, grandpas, grandmas, any of you, teachers who have had an influence on the lives of these children, and having them know to do the right thing. I applaud you also. It's just wonderful. As I said, sometimes even for us adults, it's difficult to do the right thing. So I know you're not here to listen to me. You want to listen to the great stories that are about to be told, and see these young people earn the certificates and trophies that they so deserve. So, without further ado, hand it back.
Thank you, Board Member Betsy Vaughn. Also with us today representing Senator Rick Scott's office is Trevor Brown, if you want to stand up. Senator Scott's office is a big supporter of Do the Right Thing. Thank you, Trevor Brown, for being here today. We also appreciate the support of our business community. Again, we couldn't do this without the support of businesses, because this is not run on tax dollars. This is run on contributions we get from businesses and local organizations. Now, our two top principal sponsors for Do the Right Thing are Lee County Electric Cooperative and Alliance Financial Group. Without their generosity, again, we wouldn't be here today. Now, joining us today from our principal sponsor, Lee County Electric Cooperative, is Shannon Tackett. If you want to come up, Shannon's got a few words for us. Let's have a round of applause for Shannon Tackett.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Shannon Tackett. I'm a media specialist with LCEC. I remember back when I was a student here in Lee County, and I would always hear about all of the great things that the kids were doing in our community, and I'm so happy to see that the good work continues. LCEC is honored and privileged to be a part of the Do the Right Thing program for over 2 decades now. We love to see the positivity in the community, and we also love to hear these outstanding stories. All the students here today are making a lasting impact on Lee County, and we could not be more proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon Tackett and Lee County Electric Cooperative. Well, let's get to the business at hand. We're here to honor some outstanding students. They've really stepped up and made a difference in their respective schools. So let's get started. Our first award winner today is Faith Dunn. Let's have a round of applause for Faith Dunn. Faith attends Orange River Elementary School. Her principal is Casey Starrick, and school resource officer is Deputy Alan Bryant. And if those accompanying Faith want to come up, and we'll share her story. Faith is a 4th grader at Orange River Elementary School. Teacher Katie Berkheimer writes, Faith is always listening, following directions, and doing what is asked of her. Faith is never shy to lend a helping hand to teachers and fellow students. Faith is committed to always doing her best. When she has downtime, Faith chooses to pick up her AR book, always striving to reach her goal. For Faith's academic drive and willingness to help others, she has been nominated for the Do the Right Thing Award. And Faith, today you are rightly being honored for always choosing to do the right thing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Jean Rodriguez. Let's have a round of applause for Jean Rodriguez. Jean attends Tortuga Elementary School. His principal is Jennifer Shonak, and school resource officer is Corporal Carolyn Gomez. And if those with Jean today want to come up, and we'll share Jean's story. Jean Rodriguez is a 4th grader at Tortuga Preserve. Teacher Amy Putnam writes, during a school fundraiser, students brought in money for snow cones. One busy morning, Gene found money on the floor and turned it in immediately. Gene could have kept the money because no one was around to see him pick it up, but Gene didn't do that. He turned in the money without a second's hesitation. Because of Gene, the person who dropped the money was able to buy a snow cone, and that made an extremely happy day for everyone. We are so proud of Gene. He set an example for our entire class. Gene, thank you for being honest and a person everyone can look up to. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Devin Joseph. Let's have a round of applause for Devin Joseph. Sit down, Gene. Devin attends Tortuga Preserve Elementary School and is in the kindergarten. And if those with Devin want to come forward, we'll share his story. Teacher Rachel Tuma writes, from the moment Devin walked into my classroom, I could tell there was something special about him. He has the sweetest heart. He speaks kindly to everyone and is the first to jump in when someone needs assistance. Devin is very aware of others and does his best to help and encourage them. This past semester, Devin was seated next to one of my monolingual students that knows very little English. I loved watching how Devin was, without being asked, stepped up to help him. Even though there's a language barrier, I've watched the two of them grow to be friends. If this student needs anything at all, Devin is right there to help him. I absolutely love Devin's heart, and this is why I believe he deserves the award. We couldn't agree more, Devin. Thank you for helping your classmate. You're making a difference in his life, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next, we have a two-time winner, Gabriella Giraldo. Let's have a round of applause for Gabriella Giraldo. Gabriella attends Tortuga Preserve Elementary and is in the 4th grade. And if those with Gabriella want to come forward, we'll share her story. Coach Aaron Waldo writes, Gabriella raised close to $1,000 for the American Heart Association last year. After the Jump Rope for Heart fundraiser, Gabriella approached Coach Waldo and Coach Collins about possibly doing a fundraiser for new PE equipment. She stated that she would love to give back to the PE department because the equipment there has been used a lot and is pretty worn down. She asked for a list of equipment, and Coach Waldo and Coach Collins gave her a game that they thought would be fun. The game was called Block 'em, and it cost $739. The coaches both knew it was a lot of money, considering Gabriella had just raised $1,000 from the American Heart Association. This happened at the end of last school year. Fast forward a few months, and Coach Waldo and Coach Collins had forgotten all about Gabby's fundraiser until it was brought to their attention that Gabby had not only raised enough money for the Block 'em game, but also enough for several basketballs, volleyballs, a bowling set, jump ropes, hula hoops, and kickballs. All in all, while other students were enjoying their summer at the beach or on vacation or both, Gabby was raising another $1,000 for her school so they could enjoy some brand new PE equipment. If this isn't doing the right thing, then I don't know what is. Gabriella, you deserve this award once again for your never say quit attitude. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we're going to be honoring two students together, Marianna Lopez and Emilia DePaz. Let's have a round of applause for Marianna and Emilia. Both girls attend Tortuga Preserve Elementary, and they're both in the 4th grade. And if those with Marianna and Emilia want to come forward. Teacher Carmen Rodriguez writes, during our recess time, Marianna and Emilia noticed that certain areas of the school grounds were littered. Things such as candy wrappers, disposable cups, and water bottles were left carelessly behind by other students. After a few weeks of talking about the issue, the girls came up with a plan. Marianna and Emilia decided that they would clean up the school campus. It started slowly. They brought a 1-gallon Ziploc bag the first day and filled it up. On the next day, they brought 2 1-gallon bags and filled it up. With their tenacity, the girls caught the attention of other students, and soon they had 15 students helping collect all the trash and litter they could. Eventually, they received items from donations to make it more official and even created the name Amigos Junk Removal. Their plan was an overwhelming success. Thank you, Marianna and Emilia, for making our campus more beautiful. Marianna, Emilia, what a great business venture. Thank you for beautifying your campus. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Gmr Lopez is next. Are you here, Gmr? Come on down. Let's have a round of applause for Gmr Lopez. Gmr attends Bonita Springs Elementary School. His principal is Rob Cooper, and school resource officer is Lieutenant Angelo Vaughn. And those with Gmr can please come forward. We'll share his story. Reading coach Lauren Johnson writes, I teach Gmr during reading intervention. I asked him why he was not meeting his AR goal. Gmr explained that he was not able to check books out from the library because he owed money. I asked him if his parents could give him money to put towards the debt, and he replied that his parents didn't have a lot of money. He then told me that he had $3 in his backpack and that he had been saving to use to buy a plush keychain from a school fundraiser. He said he would take that money to put towards the cost of the overdue books at the library. A couple weeks later, I walked into the library to see Gmr giving more money to the librarian. I walked over to him to tell him how proud I was of him, and I also learned that he still had $2.14 to pay. When Gmr left, I told the librarian that I would pay for the rest of the overdue books. The next day, I went in to pay the $2.14, and the librarian informed me that Gmr had already stopped by that morning to bring the money. I was so impressed with his drive and determination to pay for his books so he could check out some more books to meet his AR goal. His actions inspired me and other students in the class. I believe that his actions undoubtedly show that he deserved this award. Gmr, what you did showed great determination. Congratulations. We're all very proud of you. Up next is Drake Sistina. Let's have a round of applause for Drake Sistina. Drake attends North Fort Myers Academy for the Arts. His principal is Andrea Guns, and school resource officer is Deputy Javon Matthews. And those with Drake can come forward and we'll share his story. Drake is a 6th grader at North Fort Myers Academy for the Arts. School Resource Officer Deputy Javon Matthews writes, while in gym class, Drake observed an unsafe situation regarding another student that required immediate attention. Drake exercised good judgment and located his PE coach and directed him to the unsafe situation in a timely manner. The coach handled the situation by contacting the school resource officer and school administration. Drake should be recognized for doing the right thing because if he had not acted, there's a good chance someone in the gym could have been seriously injured. We always encourage students that if they see something, to say something, and Drake did so without hesitation. Drake, thank you for your quick thinking to keep someone from being hurt. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Okay. Shamana Georges. Let's have a round of applause for Shamana Georges. Shamana attends Gateway High School. Her principal is Nikita Watson, and school resource officers are Corporal Garfield Young and Deputy Chris Capitelli. And will those with Shamana please come forward and we'll share her story. Shamana is a 9th grader at Gateway High School. School Resource Officer Corporal Garfield Young writes, every day at lunch, other students will leave their meal trays on the table and leave the cafeteria. Shamana takes it upon herself to walk around the cafeteria to pick up these trays and dispose of them. Shamana has been doing this since the beginning of the school year, and I believe she should be recognized for doing an outstanding and selfless job. Shamana, thank you for your dedication to keeping the school cafeteria nice. You're showing what it is to be a leader at your school, and we're all very proud of you. Matthew Nelson is next. Let's have a round of applause for Matthew Nelson. Come on down, Matthew. Matthew attends Buckingham Exceptional Student Center. His principal is Dr. Vicki Gohagen Mosley, and school resource officer is Deputy Matt Grant. Smile for the camera. There we go. And those with Matthew can please come forward and we'll share his story. Teacher Kaylee Schneider writes, Matthew is a 6th grader at Buckingham Exceptional Student Center. He is in a classroom with 5 other students, 1 teacher, and 3 helping teachers. Matthew at times seems like one of the helping teachers because he's so eager to step up and help his friends. Matthew is a deserving candidate for the Do the Right Thing Award. Matthew offers his help passing out classroom materials, assisting struggling students, and cleaning up messes. He is a go-to helper for running around the school campus. Congratulations, Matthew. You deserve it. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. All right. Up next is Louis Lotto. Let's have a round of applause for Louis Lotto. Come on down, Louis. Right over there, Louis. Louis attends Mirror Lakes Elementary School. His principal is Amy Boback, and his school resource officer is Corporal Chad Heineman. All right, those with Louis can please come forward. Lewis is a kindergartner at Mirror Lakes Elementary. Teacher Leanne Knapp writes, one day when Lewis was walking to his classroom from breakfast, he found money in the grass. He brought it to my attention and questioned why the money would be there. We discussed that someone must have lost it and then gave the money to me to be turned into the office. Lewis was very polite and caring. He deserves this award due to his concern for others and for making the right choice. Lewis, thank you for turning in the money. It was the right thing to do, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Alejandro Alfonso. Let's have a round of applause for Alejandro Alfonso. Alejandro attends Mirror Lakes Elementary School and is in the 5th grade. And those with Alejandro can please come forward. Teacher Alita Green writes, Alejandro showed absolute responsibility, maturity, honesty, and kindness when he came to me with an issue. He sits with a group of students in an empty room during dismissal. The room is typically occupied by our social worker who is not present in the room during this time. I monitor the hallway filled with students, and I stand near the room until the person who monitors the room arrives. The person who monitors the room had not yet arrived when Alejandro noticed that the occupant of the room's purse was on the ground next to the chair behind the desk, and the purse was open. Cash could be clearly seen in the purse, and he was concerned because there were so many students around the desk. He let me know as soon as he saw it to ensure the purse remained untouched and any possibility of theft was eliminated. I am beyond proud of his actions and decision-making to do the right thing. Great job, Alejandro. Thank you for what you did. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Julieta Pineda. Let's have a round of applause for Julieta. Julieta attends Tice Elementary School. Her principal is Sharice Trent, and school resource officer is Deputy Kevin Ragtout. And will those with Julieta please come up and we will share her story. School resource officer Deputy Kevin Ragtout writes, 4th grader Julieta Pineda learned of someone in danger and made the courageous decision to ask adults for help. Because of Julieta's bravery, that person received the assistance they needed to overcome this sensitive issue. Julieta is a positive role model for all students at Tice Elementary. She can be counted on to volunteer at any time. She's an accomplished artist and is a top-ranked accelerated reader who routinely helps other students that need help with their classwork. Julieta is an example of what it means to be brave and confident. Tice Elementary is proud of her accomplishments and would like to see her recognized for her contributions to her school and community. Julieta, thank you for your bravery and courage. You did the right thing, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Rylan Riviezo. Let's have a round of applause for Rylan Riviezo. Rylan attends Varsity Lakes Middle School. Her principal is Dr. Scott Lemaster, and school resource officer is Deputy Robert Rabbit. And those with Rylan can please come forward. Rylan is in the 8th grade at Varsity Lakes Middle School. Dean of School Discipline Mark Phillips writes, Rylan is the perfect example of a model middle school student. She has a positive attitude every day, follows school rules, and is helpful whenever possible. The other day, she heard something that concerned her and reported it to the administration immediately. This was the right thing to do. We are proud to have a brave and caring student like Rylan who has enough care and concern for her fellow students to bring issues to our attention. I asked a couple of Rylan's teachers to share some information about her, and they tell me that Rylan's an incredibly nice student who's always willing to lend a helping hand. She participates in class, volunteers to read out loud, and has positive energy with a warm welcome. Rylan is diligent in her homework and creative with designing slideshows. Our administration is proud to have a student like Rylan on our campus and hope others see the good that she does at our school. Rylan, thank you for being a shining star and a positive example for your classmates. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Kendra Donith. Let's have a round of applause for Kendra Donith. Kendra attends Varsity Lakes Middle School and is in the 8th grade. And those with Kendra can please come forward. Teacher Carolyn Ford writes, I was approached by Kendra regarding an Instagram page that had been created. This was a fight page, and it appeared our students were using it to create a fight club. This page was encouraging our students to engage in physical altercations in the bathroom or at other places on campus in order to make it onto this page. Together, we went and spoke with our school resource officer. Kendra assisted in writing down the page number and identifying some of the students who were on the video. Because she spoke up, the page was able to be removed and we were able to better address safety concerns on our campus. Kendra is a student who always does the right thing. She cares deeply about her peers and her school. Many students would not have been brave enough to speak up and say the right thing, especially in middle school. I am beyond proud of her. Kendra, thank you for being brave and speaking up. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Cameron Road is next. Come on up, Cameron Road. Let's have a round of applause for Cameron. Cameron attends Bayshore Elementary School. His principal is Ben Osman and school resource officer is Deputy Kelsey Waldrop. And those with Cameron can please come forward and we'll share Cameron's story. Cameron is a 4th grader at Bayshore Elementary. Teacher Carrie Stiglich writes, Cameron is a kind, caring, helpful, and generous young man. He is great at math and loves to help other students who may be struggling to understand the material. This week, Cameron left a bag of toys in the front office with a handwritten note that said, I'm handing down some toys for either a treasure box or to give to kids who don't have much. I thought that was such a great gesture. His teachers praised Cameron for always completing his assignments and being a leader in his school. We believe Cameron truly deserves recognition for being a wonderful student, great friend, and for always doing the right thing. Cameron, we couldn't agree more. Thank you for putting others first. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Carson Branch is next. Let's have a round of applause for Carson Branch. Carson is a senior at Cypress Lake High School. His principal is Angela Rolls, and school resource officers are Deputy Felicia Krupinski and Deputy Alex Wilhelm. If there's any guests with Carson today, they can come forward. We'll share his story. School Resource Officer Deputy Alex Wilhelm writes, Carson is not only a good student, but also an exceptional member of the community. Carson's personality is infectious, and he's a positive example for all his peers at Cypress Lake High School. Carson prides himself on inclusion and kindness. He's heavily involved with both school and extracurricular activities and spends a lot of time, of his personal time, supporting athletics, arts, and performance activities at his school. Carson also devotes countless hours to his community, to include outreach and building positive relationships with local businesses. This helps facilitate numerous functions throughout the community. It should be noted that Carson also devotes time as an employee at Cypress Cove, an assisted living community. Carson is very deserving of his nomination for Do the Right Thing, and he will continue to be a prized asset to our community and maybe even seek a career in law enforcement. Carson, being a well-rounded student and supporter in our community is the very definition of a Do the Right Thing student, and you fit it perfectly. Thank you for everything you do. We're all very proud of you. And our final student being honored today is Elise Schwartz. Let's have a round of applause for Elise Schwartz. Elise attends River Hall Elementary School. Her principal is Jody Palakis, and school resource officer is Deputy Ed Vandal. And those with Elise can come forward and we'll share her story. Elise Schwartz is a second grader at River Hall Elementary. Teacher Dawn McNew writes, "It is my pleasure to introduce you to Elise Schwartz. I've truly enjoyed having Elise in our PE classes and witnessing her kind heart and how she collaborates with her fellow classmates. Among those classmates, her relationship with one young man in particular stands out. This young man has a physical disability and is limited as to how much he can participate, but always gives it his best because of his will and his positive outlook. However, he also has a true cheerleader in his corner, and her name is Elise Schwartz. Elise is always eager to be in this boy's group, and even if she isn't assigned to his group, she will ask if she can please join him. Elise offers him encouragement, praises his efforts, and helps make his time in PE that much more enjoyable. Her uplifting attitude is one so nice to witness that we can all learn from her. I'm so proud of her and grateful to have her in my class. Elise, you've done a wonderful job mentoring this young man. Thank you. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you." And remember again to subscribe to the Lee County School District's YouTube channel, and you can watch repeats of all of these Do the Right Thing ceremonies anytime you'd like to in your home. Now, if everyone can stick around, we're going to have the students come up for a group photo in about 1 minute. Finally, I want to thank everyone today for attending here in person and watching us on the school district's YouTube channel. Let's give our students one big final standing ovation. Thank you, everyone. If we could get all the students up here real quick, we're going to take a couple of really quick group shots.